everyone, it's Keely Mary and welcome to my channel. If you see my last few vlogs, then you know that me and my husband are in Saudi Arabia for 2 months. In my last vlog, we did go to Mecca and Medina. So we were around a lot of people, and as you can tell, I did pick up a little bit of a cold. My voice is a little bit nasally still. I'm really over the cold, but just like the nasally voice is kind of what's left. So we are gonna go out tonight. I haven't really been out of the house much just because I've been sick. So we're gonna go to some stores. I want to do some abaya shopping. I am gonna make sure to wear a mask because I don't want to get anybody else sick. I am really hoping now that I'm kind of over this cold to really make the most of the last of my trip, because we have, I think, less than like 20 days here. The time's gone by so fast and I really just want to make the most of it because I haven't really been able to do that lately. So hopefully I can do more of that.
Our first stop was to this little discount clothing store where they had a bunch of inexpensive traditional dresses and jalabiya. I didn't get a video of my absolute favorite dresses that I found here, so here's just a video of some random dresses so you can kind of get an idea of what Saudi traditional dresses look like for women. Also, just so you know, these are dresses that would typically be worn inside around other women and around family members, so this is more indoor wear. We only spent a short amount of time here before moving on to do something else. We were just driving around and we found this event that's going on for Ramadan, and so we're gonna just check it out. I see a big bounce castle slide thing and it just looks really interesting, so we're gonna go check it out. When we went inside, we were met with a beautiful night market. These are really common in Saudi Arabia, and I have been to a few during my 2-month stay here. However, this one was different because it was set up with more traditional stalls. My husband was informing me about everything in the stalls, and it was actually a really lovely way to learn more about his culture, as it was very atmospheric and immersive, and you really felt like you were back in a different time period. The baskets in this stall are hand woven. I believe they are also made out of the leaves of the date palm trees. These are traditional and can be found all over Saudi Arabia to this day still. My husband also informed me that the baskets on the floor with the lids were used to store food in, so basically to keep food safe away from insects and to sometimes even keep the food warm. Now, the flat mats that you see on the wall were actually used to eat food off of. So basically you would put that on the floor and then you would put your dish on top of it and you would sit around and you would eat your food. To this day, people still eat sitting on the floor, but instead of the flat little woven mats, they use a thin plastic disposable mat instead now. It's actually a really nice way of eating as well. If you ever get the chance, I highly recommend trying it. And in this stall, they are selling exactly what it looks like, just miniature versions of traditional doors. People do still use these to this day, but of course they are the regular sized versions of it. And I forgot to mention, but even the stalls themselves were designed to look like traditional stalls in the traditional markets. This clay container is what used to be used to store water. It would keep it cool even without ice, because obviously they didn't really have access to ice or ice machines back then. And as with any event in Saudi Arabia, there is no shortage of incredible food. The people in this particular stall came from Bahrain just to sell a sweet called halwa. As you can tell, they are making it fresh right in front of us. They also sold a variety of other sweets. This sand-colored mask that you can see in the background is actually an ancient castle. It has a lot of history and it looked so beautiful in the background of these stalls, especially with the lights. So of course I had to pick up some sweets. So I got this, it's kind of like a crispy crepe with some Biscoff inside. They were selling a whole bunch of different kinds, you could get different things inside of it. Biscoff just looked really good. Anyways, I would say that it was a successful evening considering I got some sweets. So I'm happy.
almost 6 a.m. and it's so busy out still. Like, people haven't gone to sleep. They're still awake and they're going out at this time. And there's like kids out even playing soccer and on playgrounds, and it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing that people are still up at this time. See, like, the playground is so busy right now. You never see this in Canada. This is our iftar for the night. This is Salona. And then we have some sambusa. And then over here, this is my favorite dessert. It's mehlabia. All of this is made by my mother-in-law, and her cooking is delicious. Always amazing food. But this here is my absolute favorite. So we came out for the night again, and we were just driving around. We're at the beach over here, but I'm not sure what this is. I think we might check this out. Also, it's still crazy to me that it's midnight and there's literally kids playing on the playground, running around, literally so much energy still. They're just outside, and I'm sure they'll probably be out for quite a while still. It's just crazy how lively life is here. So my husband talked to someone. This, I guess, is like a museum. They have a restaurant, stuff like that. So I think we're gonna check out the museum. It's called Heritage Village. I guess this area is meant to kind of resemble the gingerbread village, which is an area that I really want to visit in Saudi Arabia, but I won't get to this time. So this is kind of a really nice substitute for it. And you can see all the little like patterns on the wall, and it's just really beautiful. And now we're headed to another area. So this is supposed to be a museum for a different area of Saudi Arabia. Al-Baha and Taif. This actually startled me at first. I thought these were real people. And after all that, we're just now getting to the museum. There's all these coins, and it says that so it's metal coins going back 50 years, 100 years, and 400 years. That's crazy. I can't even imagine 400 years. But it looks like there's coins from different places, like that one over there, with a different writing on it. And over here. And even here, Canada Dry. Can't escape Canada, no matter where I go. So they have it set up to look like different areas of Saudi Arabia. So here's the East Coast right here. You can see it set up down below. Again, more little people. And there's all the buildings and the houses. And then on the wall you can see more painted. There's another area called Nejd. There's a camel and possibly a well. And then over here, they have set up Mecca and Medina. And you can see how different like the buildings look from place to place, the old traditional buildings. It's really cool to see the difference in culture. And here's another area. Also, I guess also called the Gingerbread Village. As you can see, the houses kind of look like gingerbread villages. Oh yeah, they even show the different traditional outfits. And another area. This is Al-Baha and Taif. This is their building. So this is between the mountains, this area here. So this is Najran here. So this is Jazan here. And you can see this one's actually looks very different from the rest. My husband said that this here, the stick that this man is holding, is supposed to represent a dance move, like a traditional dance move. So I guess they're all dancing here, if you look at them. This is a very cool exhibit that just shows all the differences in Saudi Arabia, in the culture and the heritage and the clothing and everything. And here's a big exhibit of the eastern seacoast, a fishing culture. So people on the East Coast used to travel to India to do trading. So they would take things that they would find in the East Coast. So things like pearls would be really common, or even I guess maybe fish. And they would exchange it for goods from India. So like their clothes, their jewelry, for spices and different things like that. So I think that's really interesting to learn about the close relationship between India and Saudi Arabia. Then we're gonna check out the village market here. This is a part of the museum too. I didn't realize. I thought it was an actual market, but it's just meant to look like an old market, I guess. You can see even like the roof. This is supposed to, I guess, be like an old carpet shop here. Some beautiful traditional dresses. They even have this little store here that sells little doll houses that I guess are supposed to look traditional. I just think this is so cute. So this is a little bakery right here. This dollhouse is a little store where he makes like the little traditional sitting areas, like those, like the little couches that are kind of on the ground for I guess like guest rooms and stuff like that for like men and women. It's a little barber, a classroom. This one's a little guest house, and then there's someone sleeping on the mattress there, which I didn't even notice until my husband pointed out to me. This is a women's guest living room. This is where women would hang out and socialize, and I think some houses still have ones just that are for men and ones that are just for women, just for people to come and socialize. This is a little kitchen. This one's a convenience store. This is a whole house right here. And this one also is a whole house. This is the outside of the house. Older people used to hang out in front of the house, like these guys are here. And at the end, they have a cafe here too. It'd be so nice to have like coffee and some sweets and just sit here because you're literally right on the beach. And these are how the old style of windows used to actually look like. The village market that we just came from is an actual market, like those are actual stores, but they're just closed right now because it's 1 a.m. This is an actual cafe as well that during the daytime you'd be able to come sit and eat at if you wanted to.